Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I want to have a discussion with you based on some events that have transpired in our community over the past few days, some unfortunate ones, and try to create a platform of discussion for us to address things that are not okay, to hold people accountable. But also to hold myself accountable as a content creator and even things I've made a mistake on, and talk about that as well. But I really want to use this as a moment to have a one-on-one discussion with each of you on ways we can improve as a community and some both good and bad points of this whole entire situation. So no plugs, no Discord, no nothing like that. I'm going to get right into it. If I stumble on my words, if I look for words at times, I apologize. I'm sort of shooting from the hip here. I know what I want to say, but I haven't scripted it because I shouldn't. So I apologize if I'm a little bit haphazard. Please bear with me. Whether you watch 5 minutes of this video or you watch the entire thing, I appreciate you, and I hope that you will give me the time to discuss these things with you and give me feedback, both positive and negative. I'm not going to link the tweet, the piece of content, because I don't want to promote it any more than it already is. I think the video is still up. But this video is procced from a situation with Riddler Man Gaming and Saint Hung from Fabled Hunters. They decided to make a video, or a piece of content, if you can call it that, where they basically were spreading hate, spreading rhetoric, like just senseless rhetoric about various topics, from business to women in general, to other marginalized communities, to the war in Afghanistan. Like, they were just going off the rails for an hour and a half, both flesh and blood related and general life related. There was a lot of flesh and blood stuff, calling out certain instances that happened in their general takes. And their takes were extremely hateful and marginalizing and just awful. And the first thing I wanted to do in this video before anything is come on here and say, like, that is not okay. And I am glad to see the response the community has had, just the overwhelmingly unified response of basically calling these people like POSs and telling them, like, no, we're not doing this. This is not going to happen. To the point where even James White came out this evening and talked about how his whole life's work with Flesh and Blood has been to create a place where people feel welcome and find belonging. And as his own experiences of a young fellow trying to fit into society, it's saving his life, finding those experiences. He wants to continue that forward, and how they're going to reevaluate their content creator program in 2025. And from top to bottom, we've had this unified response on just like completely eliminating this thought process from any creator in our community, any person in our community. And I want to say, first off, thank you to everyone who has weighed in and had the courage to respond to this type of stuff. Again, I'm not going to link the piece of content because I don't want to give them that platform, but if you want to go find it, you can. I didn't even watch all of it because it was too hard to watch. I read some of the transcript, but it's just awful. And so thank you all for holding them accountable. Thank you for your unified response on that. And I'm not going to go belate the point on that. We all know it's wrong, and that's just that, right? The other point of this video, and honestly the main point of this video for me, I've made mistakes as a content creator, especially like a year and a half ago, making a mistake. And I wanted to use this time to be able to use the same accountability we're having on these two individuals on myself and my own platform, and come out and apologize and talk about the situation, and hopefully be able to shed light and use my own experiences and my own mistakes to better our community, and hopefully give our community even more progression and positivity, and just continuing to make it a safe, welcome, and positive place for everyone. So I'll show screenshots of the tweets here in a second. But the first thing I wanted to do is explain the baseline of what happened, then talk about some things, and then show the tweets. So hopefully you can stay with me here. So about a year and a half ago, there was a content creator, Nick Merckx, who everyone kind of knows widely now as like a piece of shit, pardon my French, as a content creator who has spoke poorly about the trans community, LGBTQ community, like just like absolute hate. And at the time, it was one of the first instances he had ever spoken on it, so people didn't know at the time that he was full, like, just a hateful person. But there was a riot going on. I forgot where in the United States. Parents were rioting and causing violence because their kids were being taught things on gender identification, gender affirming care in the schools, and they didn't like it. So they resorted to violence and rioting. And before I say anything else, I want to say openly on my platform in front of you, that is not okay. We should never resort to violence, regardless of what your opinion is, whether it's right, wrong, whether it's, controversial or not, whether it's very radical or not, doesn't matter. We should never, ever resort to that. There's ways to discuss things objectively, and I will never condone that. So regardless of what you think of me, I hope that I can get that point across to you, that is not okay. As it pertains to this specific situation, what I was trying to portray in my original posting, and I deleted a good amount of it, not to hide anything, because I'm talking about it now openly. And if anyone has screenshots that I don't have, please, I would encourage you to share them with me on Twitter or on Blue Sky or in my Discord to be able to, so I can also link those. But my original point was to say I do not condone this rioting. I do not condone this violence. However, I can understand if a parent wants to broach the topic of gender identification or sexual orientation with their kid. If you're responsible, I don't have kids myself, so I'm speaking, hypothetically, I guess. But if I had a kid and I was a responsible parent, a loving parent, I feel like I would know my kid well enough to where I would want to broach that topic. Am I saying that the education system is not equipped to do that? No. But I think that it should be broached by the parent, especially if people have like religious backgrounds or things like that. Like, I understand everybody comes from different walks of life, and people might want to broach that in their own way that they deem healthy. However, regardless of what I'm telling you, my intent was, it was not taken that way. A lot of people perceived it, and right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm not going to judge anyone for it, but a lot of people perceived it as me saying, A, that I oppose gender affirming care and education. B, that I think that the trans community should stay away from children. And people labeled me as transphobic, and that, trans should stay away from kids and things like that. And the two things I want to say is, one, I'm sorry that my comments came off that way. I know a lot of people that were affected and hurt said they feel unsafe around me because of those comments. And before I explain anything else, I had to explain a little bit so people who don't know understand the situation. But before I explain anything else, I genuinely want to say I'm sorry. I have worked my life before that situation and after that situation my very best to love everyone equally, show love to everyone, be as open as I can. And since that mistake, I have worked as hard as I can while also not, harassing people to appear genuine and appear like I'm trying to impact things positively and create positive change in our community, for any communities that for any people from any walk of life that feel marginalized or feel like they're not welcome. I don't want that to happen. And I hate that my comments were misconstrued in that way. But regardless of what I intended to say, it's what people perceived it as. So to anyone that's watching this that remembers those comments or has heard of those comments or maybe is a part of a community that those comments pertain to, I genuinely am sorry. And if there's anything I can do to help, show that I am sorry, please let me know. I'm doing everything I can every day to be as positive as I can, but regardless, I am truly sorry. I did want to show a couple of screenshots because I could grab some stuff, and I'll link the tweets down below. These are I took out like people that were commenting, at least in this video, because I don't want to, just put people in that situation. If you find the tweets, you find the tweets. They're still public. I just didn't want to put them on my Twitter. But someone said, not teaching sex ed in schools leads to situations where kids are abused and don't have language to properly voice what's happening to them. I 100% agree with that. This argument also lets homophobic parents control their children easier, which sucks. And I do agree with that as well. I come from a very, kind of sheltered background, I guess is the best way to put it. So like, I would hope people wouldn't be that way, but I understand what they're saying. And I even said it here in the tweet, and this is a year and a half ago. I said I 100% respect the opinion. I would never try to prevent education like that in any sense. My argument is never to prevent education or discussion, merely who broaches the topic, but that's speaking for me as a parent. I know not all parents are equipped or suited for that. I also said if I were to choose between a parent discussing it with their kids first and a teacher, and both are equally emotionally qualified and invested, I would say a parent. That's just my opinion. Now, if people disagree with that, that's perfectly fine. And me saying this is not saying that trans people shouldn't be near kids. Me saying this is not saying that I'm transphobic or that I don't agree with gender affirming care. Maybe I have more of a utopian mindset on how parents should interact with their kids, and that sucks that we're in that today's world, but that's where I was at. And then I was saying it's a case-by-case basis. Sometimes parents are more equipped, sometimes teachers are, and a person responds saying, well, we can't go on a case-by-case basis. We need a heuristic. And between a RAM teacher and a RAM parent, one has professional formation about how to teach things to kids. The choice seems easy for me, and I said, sure, you could approach it that way. I could also say that a good parent knows their children better than anyone, can read their feelings, knows exactly how to approach or teach their kids as well as or better than any teacher. It can be seen from both sides. It's not an easy choice. So as you can see in these tweets, like, this argument is a case-by-case basis, which makes it not have a true answer, so on and so forth, right? And then I said the school informs the parents when these topics should be taught, and then it's on the parent. That's completely reasonable. I hate that people took my tweet of me taking a stance on anything anti-LGBTQIA+. That was not the intent. I even said it way back then a year ago. Regardless of all these things, I wanted to show a couple screenshots, and I'll link them down below. I'm sorry. I truly am sorry. And the reason for me bringing this all up, because it seems random, is I want to hold myself accountable. If I'm going to go on Twitter and I'm going to go on Blue Sky and I'm going to go on my profile and I'm going to hold these people accountable for what happened this week, I need to hold myself accountable. So I just want to publicly apologize again. And hopefully anyone who's watching this that was affected by my comments, hopefully I can work towards you feeling at least neutral about me as a content creator and me as a person. Forget content creator. Like, forget like me not having a spoiler, me not having like content on this game. That's another like side thing. I don't really care about that innately. I care about the fact that another human feels safe around me as another human, right? I want to spread that positivity. I want to spread all those things and not make anyone feel unsafe or unwelcome. That's all I want to do. And hopefully I've shown that in my actions over the past year and a half. Hopefully I can continue to show those actions. If anyone's watching this and you see any, and you know anything that I could do, that would help, please let me know. I'm just one human, and I'm also doing this through social media most of the time, and it's really hard to appear genuine over social media, as everyone knows. Like, there's so many corporations and people out there that are doing things just to save face, and I don't want to look like that. I don't want to be that way. I want this to be coming from the right place. The first thing I did, and I'll link it down below, I have a Flesh and Blood content creator list where I try to show all the creators in the game. I don't always have everyone on there. I try to add people as I see them, but I went ahead and took off Riddler Man and Fabled Hunters from that list. They will not be on that list anymore. I will not be promoting their channels in any way. So hopefully that is step one. But for me, I just want to end this video by saying, let's be better. I'm going to be the best I can be. I'm going to try to use my platform as well as I can to promote those people that feel unsafe and feel unwelcome. Hopefully there's some pieces of content I can put out in the future, some activations I can do with people in the communities to help progress and be a sounding board for that change and spread love and positivity to everyone. So thank you all so much for listening. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I won't ramble. But I just wanted to say that A, I'm sorry, and B, that I am happy to see that other people are holding individuals in our community accountable, and that we're spreading love, and that we're unifying together and progressing and being better as a community. So thank you all so much. Hopefully y'all are staying safe over the holiday. Let me know what your feedback is, positive or negative, down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If I can give you any more clarifying information that you think I'm missing or that you're not understanding, please let me know. You can say it in a comment down below. You can come on my Discord and talk to me about it openly. I'm totally okay. You can @ me on a social media platform. I'm totally okay with that. But just let me know. Thank you all so much. Hopefully y'all have a great rest of your night, and I'll see y'all next time.